This race is heating up, guys. This race is heating up. Apparently, Trump's leading in Virginia and Florida. Harris is leading in Georgia.
Turd sandwiches. Giant douche. It's 49.
Lost Georgia in 2020 by comparably a pretty small margin, more than 11,000 votes here. Is it going to be close?
It's crazy.
Again, what are some of these trends in the state that have shifted at all since 2020? Maybe not.
Yeah, there's been a big question of whether Black voters will turn out to the same degree for Kamala Harris as they did for Joe Biden. That was a big part of his winning coalition back in 2020. So I think there's a big question now of if there will still be those strong numbers there for Harris. Obviously, Donald Trump's an opening there, or he would not have invested quite so many resources into the state. But yeah, I think that's a big demographic that people will be watching there for sure.
Yeah, so can you give us context into how we watch these states, these battleground states, over time? What I'm going to put up behind me here, and Andrew, if you can take my screen in full, I want to show. So this is our breakdown of the counties. So and these are very preliminary results. We will say that up front. But we're starting to see a blue dot in Douglas County. It looks like Harris has a 32-point lead over Trump right now. Can you just lay out how this works? Typically, we see in these major metro areas, that's where Democrats run up the numbers. And then there's several rural counties where Trump runs up the numbers, correct?
Yes, that's the case. That'll be the case in Georgia. It will also be similar in Pennsylvania. I talked already about the importance of Philadelphia, but also Pittsburgh. And you'll see the same in Michigan with Detroit, in Wisconsin with Milwaukee. That's typically how this is going to go. So it's really a question of turnout in these big blue cities for the Democrats.
So we know that the Harris camp is really relying on turnout, like you said, in Philadelphia. What about Metro Atlanta? Help us make sense of
that's a big
there.
place for the Democrats.
Solidly
Atlanta.
Blue, but are there any red or purple shades in Metro Atlanta?
Hell no, probably not.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is really the question. And again, like I brought
she said, I feel like that's the
question. Of where the Black vote
What a politician's answer, man.
In Atlanta, in these
I'm not a fan of politics either.
urban areas in these swing states.
But would you vote for turd sandwich or
giant
douche?
There's also a question of whether there's a hidden Trump vote, a hidden Harris vote. But again, I think there's a lot more questions here than answers about how these cities are going to break down.
And I'll just mention that there is something that we're kind of watching. There's this really coalition of 9 counties that we talk about when we're looking at an area like the Atlanta Metro. There's 9 solidly blue counties. There is Fayette County just to the south. That's going to be one that could prove as a bellwether. That's one that's been a little bit tighter as far as last elections go. We've also looked at Cherokee and Forsyth counties. Those are just north of the Atlanta Metro. So there are 9 solidly blue counties that we talk about when it comes to the Atlanta Metro. There are a few that could be competitive, and those are going to be some of the things that we're going to be watched as the election progresses. Riley, one of my questions for you.
Let me mute this real quick. I can 100% for sure tell you guys that I know who will win this election.
Turd sandwich.
It is the oligarchs.
Turd sandwich.
The big business owners.
Whoever paid the most.
Yeah. Well, no, not even whoever paid the most. It's they all win, no matter what, because the institution of capitalism is still upheld.
Turd sandwich.
Banking on there being high turnout for women who are supportive of a Democratic ticket because of that.
Because they keep breaking everybody into categories.
Yeah, like women, black people.
Like,
and
fuck off.
People are going to vote for who
they're going to vote for, despite their gender, despite their race.
That's another huge issue.
Yo, what's up, Jared? How you doing? God bless you.
Particularly
ask them if they're going to vote for turd sandwich or giant douche.
Are you guys voting for turd sandwich or giant douche?
Immigration, and I'll tell you what I was real, man. This past week, talking to Republicans actually on legal tailgate. And that's all that they were talking about, is how excited they were to vote for Trump because of his positions on the economy, non-immigration.
Yeah, we're taking a live look right now inside this ballot counting processing center in Fulton County. We just heard Riley
I
and
didn't get your
Austin
vote.
from
What's your
Georgia
vote?
Secretary
You
of
gotta
State
know.
Brett
Turd
Raffensperger.
sandwich.
He says about
Or
10
giant
polling
douche is
locations
gonna
in Georgia
win.
will stay open
It's very
late.
important.
Some of these non-credible threats that briefly disrupted voting. So that is interesting. That is what election officials have had to contend with throughout the course of the evening here. Of course, when you talk about abortion,
Apparently, there's been some threats.
Fail to mention that just this year, in the wake of
Oh, we got another
6
turd
week
sandwich
Harvey
voter
bill,
right here.
I've been working through the state.
Another
courts in
turd
Georgia,
sandwich voter.
that
Their name is
the law
Cute
on the
Kim.
books
All right.
in Georgia.
So
6 week
that
abortion ban.
leaves
So to
9
your
for
point,
turd
Ryan, to your
sandwich
point,
and
Austin,
2 for giant
maybe
douche.
the Harris campaign is relying on some of these
Thanks.
suburban women in the
Thanks for
Atlanta
voting
metro
for
area to
Austin.
come out
Austin for
for the
president
Harris Falls camp
2024.
on that issue alone. That remains to be seen here. All right, let's move from Georgia right now while we have you, Riley and Austin. We're getting some more
So
votes.
we do have one
some more
write-in.
results in the Florida Senate race here. You can see there 52% of estimated votes counted now in the Florida Senate race. And the gap has widened here between incumbent Republican Rick Scott and his Democratic challenger Debbie Mucarsel-Powell.
All
here.
right,
So,
coming up.
we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Only a little more than half of these estimated votes coming in, according to the Associated Press here. But Scott's lead is widening. So I don't know what that means for the rest of the night, for the rest of these Senate races here. But does this say that maybe Scott wasn't facing as much of a challenge as Democrats hoped, or is that Republicans fear?
We will see for sure whether that ends up being the case. Democrats were clearly very optimistic about their chances. That's why they put resources into this race. But I'll tell you, I talked to a number of strategists on both sides of the aisle who were not
Understandable
fully on
still.
this race to be away
So
from the
we're
Democrats.
just doing
When I
a
took over
poll
look
for
in front of us
fun
yesterday,
on
he
turd
told me that
sandwich or
the
giant
Republicans
douche.
losing
Neither
the
of them
House
actually
would be
mean anything.
tremendous shock.
But if you feel like
And part of that
Austin's pretty sure that
is
turd sandwich is gonna win, I'm pretty sure the giant douche is
So
gonna win.
this isn't
So
a
we
totally
will find
unexpected
out.
outcome. It's
This
not
is our
done
own
yet.
poll
It's
just for
always
fun.
competitive, but I think this is kind of expected.
All right, Austin, you have the map there
Nice.
in Florida
Good.
as well.
Oh,
Looking at
this
some
is-
of these
this is
counties
the
and how they're
Senate
going here.
map.
What does it say?
Yeah, let's go. It's not for president. Let's go back to the screen with the map. Oh, now they want to give us a HughesNet.
for rural
America. Meet the next generation of HughesNet.
We will find out. We will find
Okay,
out.
it looks like Trump is currently leading in Georgia. He has 19 electoral votes already. He's leading in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Virginia. You guys see that? So those dark red states, he already won, but the light red states, he's leading apparently.
But if you want to get and be part of our little poll we're doing here, we have turd sandwich or giant douche. Who do you want to vote for?
Oh, that makes sense. I just remembered.
I just
The West-
remember.
The West Coast is 3 hours earlier than us. That's why they're still at the polls.
That's why.
That
That's why.
that makes sense.
I hear you, Stone. But if you could vote for turd sandwich or giant douche,
Sorry, I'm just gonna.
who would you vote for?
To be clear, we do not support Trump or Harris.
We do not support giant douche or turd sandwich. We are just curious.
It's not gonna be good for the people, no matter who wins. That's the facts. Things wages keep declining whether it's a Democrat or Republican. Sure.
What?
I want you to get too.
Okay.
You still want it?
Yeah. You have a person who commented.
As a communist, and not even as a communist, but as especially as a communist, but as somebody who understands that no matter that both of these parties are for the oligarchs. You know, they're put in by the oligarchs. They even Trump gets millions of dollars donated from other groups. Okay, you know, Trump and Harris, they both do not stand for the poor people. But for some reason, I still like watching the map. You know, it's like only every 4 years do we get to see this frenzy. You know, and it's not that I know that it doesn't do anything for us. You know, but it's fun to. It's like watching a sporting game that has no meaning. And you know,
That's why we're voting either turd sandwich or giant douche.
and you know, I watched a video from Bad Empanada, one of my favorite socialist / communist YouTubers, and he said, you know, honestly, as somebody who doesn't live in the United States, he lives in Argentina. You know, he thinks, oh, if you want to say harm reduction, Trump is more incompetent, you know, and if he gets in, you know, when he was president, he only made the United States look worse and worse on the world stage. You know, he only kept fucking up worse and worse and hurting the legitimacy of the American empire abroad, you know, and so some people try to say, oh, Harris will treat us a little bit better. Bad Empanada said, you Americans don't deserve to be treated better because you're not changing anything.
I'm Turtle Island.
Yeah. And, you know, you're just continuing this process of not doing anything about your government genociding people around the world. You know, the best thing for the rest of the world is for Trump to become president and fuck things up even more for the American empire and make it lose its legitimacy more. And Bad Empanada said that's not accelerationism because he said, if I was saying, oh, I wish there was fascism, so then that could be destroyed, and then after that, you know, we could have revolution. He's saying he's not saying that. He just is saying, like the liberals say, harm reduction. And to be clear, I still do not support either candidate. I think it's going to be interesting no matter which one wins. And that's the whole reason I'm watching it, because just interesting for the petty you know, culture of it, you know, it's not even important, it's just a little interesting, you know. And I don't support either candidate, and I don't necessarily 100% agree with what I just said Bad Empanada said. I'm just giving you different viewpoints. Thank you, Thomas.
What the hell music is playing in the background of this shit?
I have
Is
no
that
idea.
even fucking music?
Hold on.
No, don't change it.
Those threats were handled professionally by our chief and
Oh yeah, one of the places you start.
But because of the $30 million investment that the Fulton County Board of Commissioners made, this facility has allowed us to consolidate all of our operations under one roof. And the result of that has been an outstanding 2024 election. I had the privilege of personally visiting 31 of the 177 precincts today, and I can report to you that I saw no unusual problems, no major problems
I wonder if they're
whatsoever.
gonna fight.
Our workers
over
were
if the
courteous,
election's
they were
valid or not
professional,
this
and they
year.
were well trained
Seems
and
to be
took
a
care
theme.
of
An upcoming
business.
theme.
Now we are aware.
God bless you,
that there were,
Velocity. One second.
Several bomb threats.
Several bomb
Those
threats in
threats
Georgia.
were handled professionally by our chief, and you'll hear from him in a few minutes. As a result of that, 5 of the 177 precincts will be staying open a little later, anywhere from a little later, meaning after 7 p.m., anywhere from 10 minutes to 45 minutes, based upon the time that they were closed. So I am personally well pleased, thrilled with the results of today's election, and I will give Fulton County, Georgia, an A for the great work that we've done. I'd like you to hear from the chair of our Board of Registrations and Elections, Ms. Sherry Allen.
Good evening, good evening. Yesterday I said that you were going to see the best run elections in Fulton County, and I think you have. We did have bomb threats, criminal activity, but there weren't waiting lines. Things were resolved fast for voters. I personally went out to sites when there were problems and resolved them, talked to managers. I want to thank all of the poll workers, all of the poll managers, all of the monitors, all of
Georgia's ever held. Chairman Allen has invited me to see many polling locations in Fulton County. We went all the way from the north to the south, saw about 9 polling locations, and every one of them ran efficiently and effectively. The voters were happy. The poll managers were happy.
Oh, Kamala's leading in Virginia now. And that other state up top, I don't know what it is. Hey, good night, everybody.
Yeah, good night. So, as far as we know, we'll do another little poll tomorrow. But as far as we know, Turd Sandwich is winning. Not a lot of people voted for Giant Douche. But we will get back to you with the final results in the morning. We'll give everybody a little bit more time to vote because of the bomb threats. So.
Yeah, and they had bomb threats in Georgia.
So we definitely are going to take time for that.
Well, yeah, it's
so we'll let you guys vote again in the morning for like 2 minutes. Thanks to that.
Yeah, we're just gonna take some time and hang out because, you know, not too many people we're talking, and we just want to hang out with each other, just enjoy our night
have
together.
Have a beautiful night as well.
See you guys later.
Sorry, I know I said bomb, but you knew that.